They say what goes up must come down. For some of the biggest names in sports, that fall from grace wasn't just on the field, it was a catastrophic crash in their personal lives. Today, we're diving into the shocking stories of sports legends who had it all: fame, fortune, and adoring fans only to lose everything. These aren't just tales of financial ruin, they're cautionary tales about the pressures of stardom, bad decisions, and the fleeting nature of glory. So grab your popcorn, because these stories are more dramatic than any championship game. Let's start with a name everyone knows: Mike Tyson. Iron Mike wasn't just a boxer, he was a cultural phenomenon in the late 80s. The youngest heavyweight champion in history, he was ferocious in the ring and larger than life outside of it. He earned over $300 million in his career, a staggering amount of money. You'd think that would set someone up for life. Well, not exactly. Tyson's spending was legendary. He bought mansions he barely lived in, a fleet of luxury cars, and even pet Siberian tigers that reportedly cost him $70,000 a year to maintain. His entourage was huge, and the lavish parties were endless. But it wasn't just the spending. A messy divorce and legal troubles, including a 3-year prison sentence, took a massive toll. By 2003, Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, declared bankruptcy, claiming to be over $23 million in debt. It was a stunning fall from the top of the world. The man who once seemed invincible was brought down by a combination of extravagant living and a lack of trustworthy financial guidance. Thankfully, Tyson's story has a second act. He's since rebuilt his life and career, finding success in entertainment and business, proving that even after a knockout blow, you can get back up. Next up, let's talk about a star from the world of American football, Vince Young. Remember him? He was a college football legend, leading the Texas Longhorns to a national championship in one of the greatest college games ever played. He was drafted 3rd overall in the NFL, signed a massive $26 million guaranteed contract, and seemed destined for greatness. The endorsements rolled in, and his future looked brighter than stadium lights. So, what went wrong? Vince Young's story is a classic example of financial mismanagement and trusting the wrong people. He admitted to not knowing much about finances and put his trust in a financial advisor who allegedly misappropriated millions. But his own spending habits didn't help. There are famous stories about him dropping thousands of dollars at restaurants like the Cheesecake Factory, buying drinks for everyone. He reportedly spent $5,000 a week there at one point. He also had a habit of buying expensive cars and jewelry. These small leaks, combined with bigger financial drains, eventually sank the ship. By 2014, just a few years after signing his huge contract, Vince Young filed for bankruptcy, with assets of less than $1 million and liabilities up to $50 million. It's a harsh reminder that earning a lot of money is only half the battle, knowing how to manage it is the real championship game. Now let's pivot to the tennis court and talk about a true icon, Bjorn Borg. In the 1970s and early 80s, Borg was the king of tennis. With his cool demeanor and incredible skill, he won 11 Grand Slam titles, including 5 straight Wimbledons. He was a global superstar, mobbed by fans wherever he went. He retired shockingly early at the age of 26, at the very peak of his powers. You'd assume he'd have a comfortable, quiet life ahead of him. But his post-tennis career was a roller coaster. Borg ventured into the business world, launching a fashion line called Bjorn Borg. Initially, it was a success. But a series of bad investments and business decisions led his company to the brink of collapse in the late 80s. He lost millions. The financial stress was so immense that at one point, he had to try and sell his Wimbledon trophies to pay off debts. Can you imagine that? Selling the very symbols of your legendary career just to stay afloat. It was a desperate move, thankfully stopped by his rivals and friends in the tennis world who stepped in. Borg eventually recovered, and his brand is successful today, but his story is a stark warning about the risks of the business world, even for a sports genius. Let's head back to the gridiron with another NFL star, Terrell Owens, or T.O. As he's widely known, T.O. was one of the most talented, and polarizing wide receivers in NFL history. His on-field antics were as famous as his incredible touchdowns. Over his 15-year career, he earned an estimated $80 million. That's a massive fortune. Yet, by 2012, he was broke. How did it happen? Similar to Vince Young, Owens pointed to poor financial advice as a major cause. He claimed he lost a significant portion of his fortune, nearly $45 million, due to bad investments recommended by his advisors. But there were other factors. He had child support payments for his four children that reportedly amounted to over $45,000 a month. The high life of an NFL superstar, the houses, the cars, the lifestyle also took its toll. When his career ended abruptly and the massive paychecks stopped coming in, the financial reality hit hard. Tio has been very open about his struggles, hoping his story can serve as a lesson for young athletes. It shows that even with a long, high-earning career, you're not immune to financial disaster if you're not careful. And finally, we have to talk about a baseball hero, Honey Dykstra. Nicknamed Nails for his tough, gritty style of play, Dykstra was a key player for the New York Mets and Philadelphia Phillies in the 80s and 90s, even winning a World Series. After retiring from baseball, he reinvented himself as a financial guru. He started a magazine for professional athletes on how to invest their money and was even praised by CNBC's Jim Cramer. He lived an unbelievably lavish lifestyle, flying on private jets and owning a massive $18.5 million mansion that once belonged to hockey legend Wayne Gretzky. It all seemed too good to be true, and it was. The 2008 financial crisis hit, and Dykstra's empire crumbled like a house of cards. His investments went south, and it turned out his entire financial guru persona was built on a foundation of fraud. He declared bankruptcy in 2009, claiming less than $50,000 in assets and over $31 million in liabilities. The fallout didn't stop there. He was later sentenced to prison for a string of crimes, including bankruptcy fraud, grand theft auto, and money laundering. It was a complete and utter downfall, from celebrated athlete to financial guru to convicted felon. So what can we learn from all these stories? It's clear that fame and fortune in the sports world are incredibly fragile. These athletes reached the pinnacle of their professions, but the skills that made them great on the field didn't always translate to managing life off of it. The pressures of sudden wealth, the temptation of a lavish lifestyle, and the danger of trusting the wrong people can create a perfect storm for disaster. These stories serve as powerful reminders for all of us, not just superstar athletes, the importance of financial literacy, surrounding yourself with trustworthy people, and planning for a future beyond your peak earning years are universal lessons. It's a testament to the human spirit that some of these legends, like Mike Tyson, have managed to find redemption and rebuild their lives. But their cautionary tales will forever echo in the halls of sports history. What do you guys think? Were you shocked by any of these stories? Do you know of any other sports legends who had a similar fall from grace? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of sports. See you in the next one.